Well, hello there, this is Geet, and welcome to my series of C programming tutorials. Today, we are going to learn about the data types. So, let me open Genie, a new file, save it as data types tutorial. And save it, and let me close it. Okay, we don't need it. So, what are the data types? Data types are the way a type of any data is specified. It is used for declaring the variables or functions of different types. Now, why we should use a data type? Every time you define something, it will occupy a space inside the memory. Now, before you sleep and you get bored, let me explain you with an example. So, obligatory include int main, and don't get confused if you can't figure out whatever I've written or whatever I've explained, because it will be completely clear in the upcoming videos. Int apple is equal to 120, float weight is equal to 43.55, double mass is equal to 566.3234123, car or char, my favorite character is equal to G. Now, what I've written here are the different data types. At the same time, you can see these are the identifiers. Apple. Now you see it follows all rules or not. It should start with capital or small letter, and every name starts with a small letter. So all of them are eligible to being an identifier. Now, what this apple is? It is a number, it's a character. So these characteristics are defined by the data types, and we write it just before the name of these variable. So there is int, float, double, and character. Now these are the data types. Int apple is equal to 120 shows that this is an integer. The float weight is equal to 43.55 shows that this is a floating point number. There is a minor difference between float and double that I will explain later, but this is a double, and this G is a character. So this is a character. So these are the data types. There are not 4, there are many other data types, like there are variants of integer. We can say, let me a bit below, and we can have the unsigned int that is having no sign. A is equal to 230, or we can have signed int AB is equal to minus 432. We can have a long. C is equal to 25. We can have a short underscore short is equal to 12. We can have unsigned long, we can have unsigned short, and these are pretty much the data types. This can also be possible in the characters, so we can have unsigned character, we can have signed character, and pretty much. So why we should use the data types? Now all these data types have specific sizes, so they will occupy some space inside the memory. Now according to the type of the data, the maximum memory that it can have is allocated when this instruction is executed. Like the int have 4 byte of space, so whenever this is executed, 4 byte will be allocated to this. Now there are different spaces for these different data types, like a character have 8 bits. Let me write over here. Character has 8 bits, that is 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. The unsigned character has 1 byte, but it can be from 0 to 255. Now how this number came? So 8-bit. So if we convert these bits into numbers, that is 2 raised to n, or 2 to the power n, where n is number of bits. So we can have 2 raised to 8, that is 256. Now the 256 can be from 0 to 255. So the total numbers are 256, and this is the maximum size or the maximum number it can have. But the simple character is a signed character, so it ranges from minus 128 to 127. Okay,